Hi, this is little dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into the microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Portal with the developer commentary on.
The Enrichment Center is committed to the well-being of all participants. Cake and brief counseling will be available at the conclusion of the test. Thank you for helping us help you help us all.
Grief counseling. Damn it. Okay, I think I need to go. No! Wait. I won't be able to listen to the commentary note now, which is definitely a bummer. Can I somehow kill myself or... Or you know what, I can just reload. I think. That should be this one.
The Enrichment Center is committed to the well-being of all participants. Cake and brief counseling will be available at the conclusion of the test. Thank you for helping us help you help us all.
I didn't want to listen to the commentary note before solving the objective to not spoil myself on the solution, but when I cross this barrier I can't interact with the comment anymore, so I'll have to click it now.
This particular section went through several iterations because it's the first place where players are required to perform possibly the trickiest portal maneuver, the double fling. Originally, the room also featured an energy ball redirection puzzle. Combined with a new double fling skill, however, it proved to be too much for most playtesters. Overwhelmed players tend to not digest new information, so we simplified the puzzle to require only the double fling. To nudge players in the right direction, we also included visual hints, such as the previously introduced single fling theme, the pushed-out concrete slab with a checkerboard landing zone.
Interesting. Okay, so now I have to set it in such a way that I cross this barrier when the ball is still traveling, and then set up two portals in the time being. That was painless enough, I guess.
This puzzle requires players to redirect an energy ball through multiple portal placements. The multiple steps caused many early playtesters to panic and accidentally redirect a ball right into themselves, with deadly results. We redesigned the test chamber so that portals can only be placed in the top half of the room, which solved the problem by generally leaving players out of the ball's reach.
That's also interesting to hear about them even considering such a step, because indeed you can't put any portals here, and when playing the game normally you wouldn't even think about it, like it's just the way the level is. But it's interesting to hear about the reasons behind any kind of even such a minute decision. Okay, I have to listen to it because once I cross the barrier, I won't be able to interact with the commentary note anymore.
We noticed through our playtest that many of our players weren't aware of the fact that you could place portals while falling. Since placing portals as you are falling is essential to accomplishing flings and many other portal tricks, we implemented this puzzle so that the only way to solve it was to use the mid-air placement tactic. It took numerous iterations and lots of tuning before this consistently played well.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite tricks in Portal. Okay, that didn't quite work the way I wanted it to. And that should be close enough. Yep.
Perhaps the most important purpose of this final test chamber is to cement the double fling maneuver training. For previous flings, we employed a visual cue, a pushed out section of a wall. In preparation for the more freeform behind the scenes levels, however, we take the training wheels off. To proceed, players must realize they can double fling almost anywhere they want to, with or without hints.
Okay. Where is the... okay. There are two buttons here and two sets of doors, so... Oh, damn it.
Did you know you can donate one or all of your vital organs to the Aperture Science Self-Esteem Fund for Girls? It's true.
I actually wonder, why does GLaDOS only exclusively talk about girls? Like, back a couple of levels, she was like, it's your take your daughter to work day instead of take your child to work, and now she's talking about a self-esteem fund for girls exclusively. I wonder if that's because she herself is coded as a girl, or because Chell, the protagonist, is a woman, and GLaDOS thought she would respond better to this kind of...
Due to mandatory scheduled maintenance, the appropriate chamber for this testing sequence is currently unavailable. It has been replaced with a live fire course designed for military androids. The Enrichment Center apologizes for the inconvenience and wishes you the best of luck.
Now, the turrets in Portal are actually quite hilarious because they have those cute voices.
Uh-oh.
For Portal, we wanted to create a turret that was different from the traditional Half-Life 2 turrets. The Half-Life 2 turrets are nothing more than mindless mounted guns. In Portal, we wanted the turrets to have personality, to be characters. The first step was a redesign of the look. Once we had the look of the new turrets, they seemed less like menacing machine guns and more like cute robots. And robots can never really be cute until they are talking robots. So the next step was creating the vocal characteristics of the turrets. Working with Ellen McLean, we settled on an innocent-sounding voice with dialogue to match. This juxtaposition of killing machine and innocent, non-aggressive personality ends up making the Portal turret a memorable character.
Yeah, it's definitely memorable.
Activated. Searching. Who are you?
Even though we didn't want Portal to be too combat heavy, we wanted to add at least a light combat mechanic. After a few less than successful attempts to actually realize this light combat concept, we settled on turrets as a good compromise. The turrets can be defeated with tricky portal maneuvers, but they're also susceptible to a more straightforward berserker approach.
Yeah, I don't think a portal really needs combat. It's a perfect game even without it. I mean, not perfect in a way that it doesn't have any flaws, but perfect in a way that it's entirely suitable for Portal not to have any combat mechanics. Although, I must say,
Certain
I
objects
feel...
may be vital to your success. Do not destroy testing apparatus.
I feel kind of insulted by the fact that apparently even at this stage Portal seems to imply that I need those kind of very direct clues on the placing of my portals, which again sort of reiterates that it's more of an extended tutorial and a proof of concept. So I wonder how much more challenging Portal 2 is going to be compared to Portal 1. Now this is actually those hidden areas behind the walls are something that I vividly remember from playing this game for the first time, and they always creeped me out a lot, like all of those ominous writings. The cake is a lie, which is a meme by now, but also those, someone counting days or something, as if he was trapped here. Can I help you? I think it's a turret. Cake. And the background ambient sounds also turn sort of a little more ominous once you step into one of those chambers. I wonder if that's supposed to be paint or blood, which I guess probably paint, but I guess it's supposed to be a little bit ambiguous. That's why they chose red paint.
Even though Portal tells a simple story, we created a lot of backstory. For Aperture Science, for its employees, for its rivalry with the hated Black Mesa, and for where all of this fits into the cosmology of Half-Life. This first Portal game doesn't reveal all of it, but we crammed a lot of little details into the environments. This area, for instance, called the Rapid Den, hints that there may be other people trapped in the facility.
Okay, so there's another turret there.
Activated. Are you still there? Hibernating. Malfunctioning. No hard feelings. Searching. Put me down. It's me! Shining.
No hard feelings.
Are you still there?
Okay, I apparently got duped by one of those marks, which if it does confirm anything, it only confirms that I'm an idiot, because less than a minute ago I was complaining about those, and now it turns out they may be in fact actually a ruse by the game to try and get the player killed for not thinking excuse me, not thinking for himself. Okay, first of all, I'm going to save, just in case I die, because it's going to save me like a minute. It's interesting how those cubes can get stuck. It's kind of funny. Wonder if I can use a turret in lieu of a cube.
Who's there?
Apparently I can.
Activated. Searching. Searching. Hello, friend. Are you still there? Sleep mode activated. Hello.
Okay.
Deploying. Target lost.
I think I can grab it before it kills me.
Please put me down. Are you still there? Critical error. Who are you? Malfunction. I don't blame you.
Well done, Android. The Enrichment Center once again reminds you that Android Hell is a real place where you will be sent at the first sign of defiance.
Actually, I never thought about it, but the mere existence of this room implies some quite heavy lore details for the Half-Life universe. Like, for example, that androids did in fact exist on Earth even before the Combine, and that Aperture Science was working to develop them, which is definitely interesting. I wonder if we ever see an android character in Half-Life. Ah, that's the
The vital
companion cube.
apparatus vent will deliver a weighted companion cube in 3, 2, 1.
That's again one of the other memes being born out of Portal.
This weighted companion cube will accompany you through the test chamber. Please take care of it.
I guess it's kind of... I'm not sure if that's supposed to be funny, but apparently the first thing you need to do with your companion cube is to step on it to proceed, which seems kind of rude.
We designed this hall so that players had to use a box as a shield, but many playtesters read it as an avoid the energy ball timing puzzle and simply left the box behind. We solved this in large part by having the AI talk about the box. A lot. Once the dialogue went in, playtesters went from routinely abandoning the box to never wanting it to leave their side. Since we weren't going to make the players lug a box around for the rest of the game, we added a scene at the end of the level where the players are forced to kill the box.
That's actually very interesting to me.
We designed this hall.
Oh, damn it. What it seems to imply is that the whole reason behind creating this quote-unquote character of the companion cube was because the players didn't want to use it. Didn't want to use it before, and thus weren't solving the puzzle. So the developers simply trick you into quote unquote caring for the box, so that you can use it to solve the puzzle properly. And then they add this funny bit, well, funny or sad, depending on your
The
emotionality
symptoms
level.
most commonly produced by enrichment center testing are superstition, perceiving inanimate objects as alive, and hallucinations. The enrichment center reminds you that the weighted companion cube will never threaten to stab you and, in fact, cannot speak.
Okay, this is a little bit more complicated because I think the energy ball might actually hit me in the back. Okay, so I think I have to place one here. More of those hidden areas. Although this one seems to be inaccessible, so maybe you can only glance at it, or maybe it opens up a little bit after. Okay, that's... I think I'm supposed to dislodge the ball by interrupting it.
The enrichment center reminds you that the weighted companion cube cannot speak. In the event that the weighted companion cube does speak, the enrichment center urges you to disregard its advice.
Apparently I'm missing something here. Ah, okay. So I think what I need to do is to stand here and crouch to avoid getting killed by the energy ball, but to keep the door open. I think the other portal is placed wrong. Wait. I'm confused again. No, wait, it should be good. At least I think so. Okay, I'm definitely confused here. Is that disabled or something? Could have sworn this was still working. But apparently it isn't, so I have to go back to here. Okay, I'll save just in case I manage to get myself killed, not to repeat this sequence. I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to do now, but I guess I might as well listen to the commentary note here, because I don't think I can enter this area.
I know that I was told that, sort of the idea of Valve is that everything is planned. Everything is worked out in advance. But that's a big fat lie. Because the initial idea is started, and they bring an actor into the studio and they say, say these words for us, say this computer-generated voice for us. Okay, I'll do that. Well, then that gives the creators other ideas, and it's a rolling process. You roll from one idea into the next idea.
So that was apparently the voice actor for GLaDOS, but it didn't really explore my questions about her voice, because, well, I guess she said do that computer voice, so maybe GLaDOS's voice is her actual voice, only naturally modulated. But I wondered how much post-processing work is done on it, and whether it's any of it. Okay, so I think I have to drop here. And then jump.
You did it. The weighted companion cube certainly brought you good luck. However, it cannot accompany you for the rest of the test and, unfortunately, must be euthanized. Please escort your companion cube to the Aperture Science Emergency Intelligence Incinerator.
It's actually kind of crazy that they have a custom icon for euthanizing the companion cube. I wonder if that's something that GLaDOS has developed after she went insane. Because to be honest, that doesn't seem to me like a best allocation of
Rest assured that an independent panel of ethicists has absolved the Enrichment Center, Aperture Science employees, and all test subjects of any moral responsibility for the companion cube euthanizing process.
Well, you have no choice. You have to do it to end the level. Wait, I just screwed it because the incinerator is timed.
While it has been a faithful companion, your companion cube cannot accompany you through the rest of the test. If it could talk, and the Enrichment Center takes this opportunity to remind you that it cannot, it would tell you to go on. You euthanized your faithful companion cube more quickly than any test subject on record. Congratulations.
That's a very cool kind of backhanded compliment, because it seems to imply that you're basically the most heartless of any test subjects before you.
The awful end of the companion cube serves a dual purpose. It adds a lot more sinister character to our already pretty sinister AI, while simultaneously training the player to use the incinerator, a key component of the final level. The training has a nice dramatic payoff, since players later get to avenge the death of their good friend the Companion Cube by stuffing some of the AI's important parts into exactly the same type of incinerator.
I wouldn't say it's a good dramatic payoff, that's saying a little too much, but... Okay, so that's enough for this episode. I'll end it here and see you in the next one. Bye.